So what I've been up to has been doing a lot of the assessments. So other than that, what I've been doing on Blender is I've been working more on my dragon. So just trying to figure out how to connect like the hands and feet and how to best way to make them as well. I've done some more concepts. Just trying to come up with the colour that we want to go with for our game still, like what how we want to have our textures, if we want to have them realistic or cartoony or stylized, how we've got our character kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we're still working on that. And trying to figure out what we should be building as well, like, and what things not to focus on, because I've been going a bit overboard with too many ideas. So I'm trying to focus.
A good way of doing it in this sort of situation is you guys create a hierarchy list, which is basically what is the most important thing that needs to be in your game. What is the most important thing that needs to be in your game?
Character.
Alright, so your character's at the top of the list. And you just create a big list like that. So when you're working towards a prototype, obviously all those key points are taken up, and the rest you can build later when you've got the prototype done. So that's the way to go. So work out your hierarchy, guys.
And yeah, that's really it at the moment. Yeah.
I'll go next. Just click on my USB, just an error, just launch up the 1.03. Version 3. There's a variable on the folders. Cool. Yep. Top one. Then back. 1.03. And launch. Yeah. So on Tuesday I showed off a thing showing jumping around puzzles platforms pre-placed down, and you can interact with them a little. But now I've added ability to be able to place them. So these are the platforms, and Josh mentioned if you press click, it places a platform. It's a little bit janky, it doesn't go exactly where the mouse is, I need to fix that. But I've added implementation of all three platforms. So if you also right click and middle click, that's the jump platform, and then if you middle clicks is the middle platform, the launch pad, which sends them off to the side. And I want to fix up the placement of those and just improve them around. That's it.
Alright, excellent. Do you have a limit on how many platforms you can bring in?
3 of each.
Right, okay.
How do you do you have to destroy the other ones to put more down or something like that? So what will be your idea?
What's that?
So you say you have 3 at a time, so would you have to destroy the other ones to put new ones down?
Oh no, 3 of each kind, but that's going to be changed depending on the level. And you're only going to get those in our platform for the whole level.
Oh, okay, so it's like you're going to structure it around having that interaction.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good. So you attempt a round, and then if it doesn't work, you attempt again, and so on, that sort of puzzle. Yeah, very good.
Well, I've just been working on some UI stuff. I've got some on my USB, so I'll just go over to the technician. Yes, those are some of them, but there's more on the USB there as well.
Nice, I like the style.
Yeah, just coming up with more
styles
ideas.
you're looking at, yeah.
More ideas, more options to pick from. I'm kind of liking the idea of number 2 with the pink and the pinky one. I'm kind of liking that one a bit more. That's good to go UI design. And then there's all the options there. There's the first option I came up with last week. In that one, I might have to do the I have to put the thumbnails large, or I can just do that, yeah. And then each option has different. Yeah. So that was what I came up with last week, and then I've got option 2, 3 and 4. So just trying to brainstorm what we want the UI to look like. Mitch said he really liked the texture of option 2, so I might try and get that texture.
I'm liking play 1. That looks really good.
So I've made purple versions and grey versions, so when you mouse over the button it'll come purple, but until then it'll be grey, so it's kind of like that kind of button in my head at least. So just some different options for the UI. So other than assignments, that's pretty much all I've been working on since last week.
Yep, very good. Okay, one thing you guys got to remember through your sprints is not only discuss what you did last week, but what is your plan for next sprint. So what is the plan?
Well, my plan for next week is maybe pick a UI and finalise what we want the UI to be, and then make the final design, and then might work on some of the art style, textures and things for the models that we've made from the jump pads.
Right.
Nice. And that's pretty much me.
I haven't done too much since Tuesday because doing assessments and all, but I did some buildings, test for textures. This is just test of early textures on the building. That should be it. It's Tuesday.
Alright, just because this is going out to the world, someone want to give an elevator pitch while we're waiting for things to happen? Who's your best spokesperson? Yeah, everyone's looking at you.
Like an elevator pitch about what? Just the whole game?
The game, because this is going out to the world. They don't know what your game's about.
So the idea of the game... So the idea of the game is to control a character in a world where the objective is to get from point A to point B, but you have to use your platforms that you can spawn out in a very particular way to be able to get from to progress through the level. And depending on how well you place it, will determine if you succeed or not. And if you don't, you have to restart the level, and it's based on that, and you get like a score, I guess, on the time completion as well. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Good you do.
This is the same thing we said on Tuesday, just put the background in there.
Yeah, I'm liking the background, that's really good. Are you going with parallax background?
Or is that where it just moves with you?
Yeah, you sort of move. Your most furthest distance moves the slowest, the one's closest to camera moves fastest, and you get that.
We're going to have like separate layers where in mid-ground it's 3D, but the background's 2D, but then have the 2D with the different rates.
Because I'm liking the cityscape and the colour scheme that you guys are going with. Certainly works.
That's 2D, but there'll be some 3D buildings like this in the back.
Mind you, it depends how big your play area is. It may not be necessary to do a parallax if you're doing like each screen as a puzzle area that you're working on. How are you doing that? Or is it going larger than that?
We're having a scene per level, so there's a small area, and then you've got to finish the puzzle in that area. Then you move on to the next area, and then that's the next level. That's that.
Yeah, so it may not be necessary to do parallax, but just in future side scrollers that works really well.
I've been focusing on pretty much getting the concepts and learning how to model. I've been making a lot of the stuff, such as the crane and the buildings in the background. I've also just been focusing on improving my skills in areas where I can improve my skills, so such as music design, textures, modeling, drawing, just everywhere I possibly can. Starting to get the hang of code, so I've also been practicing a little bit of code, and Yeah. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, it's coming along nicely.
It is. It looks so cool, guys. Seriously, it's really awesome.
Especially at early stage, just for the camera and the world out there, these guys, the Cert 4s, they've only just started, what, 5 weeks ago?
This is just our first month, not even.
Yeah. So some of them are learning Blender for the first time.
So really impressive, guys.
Alright, excellent.
For next week, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, probably just some assignments.
Yeah, look at your hierarchy list, guys. Get a hierarchy list, and then you'll be able to pull from your asset backlog and work on stuff. Yeah.
So unfortunately I haven't been able to do anything this week due to personal reasons. However, next week I'm going to try and learn a little more about Blender, fit in a bit of practicing coding, and I'm going to get back to trying to work on tracks for the game.
Yep. Well done. Woo! Next.
Oh, wait, no. Okay. I've basically been working on assessments, but in game-wise, I have started creating concept art as here for which character. I've been just been working through drawing that for the past week. And I did start modelling her at home, but I didn't put her on a USB or post it anyway. But I'll be working on that game-wise and finishing up the slime and making sure that's all modelled for the prototype. There's already a model in place for putting the prototype. It's just getting the prototype done. Yeah. Yeah, I do. More assessments and just finish modelling the slime and get it all ready for the prototype, which I have nothing to do with besides the slime model. Looking at you.
Pretty much.
And that's it.
No, somebody else. Keep it flowing.
Just some concept art about the game that I did, which is like the slime and the princess and everything. And this was the ice level that I did a while back. Just like.
And that was the original concept that we were going to do for the witch, which is now obviously turned into this. With your colour palette.
My stuff's on the USB, but I haven't really done much, just assignments and practicing a tiny bit. I'll show Ryan what I did
So while he's doing the technical stuff, one of you guys can stand in camera view, which is right near the edge of the thing, and do the elevator pitch. Everyone stands back. I like this one.
So yeah,
Please go ahead.
so yeah, I modelled it and got a basic idea for a prototype for the first level, the forest level, just chucking in the quote-unquote good guys, or the heroes or whatever, for the city, and just an idea of where the ingredient stuff goes, so you climb up a tree to get it, kind of going with the forest theme and stuff, and then trying to get the name and stuff for it done. And plan for, that's really all I've done. Plan for next week, probably just continuing this, making it longer, and then maybe making the tree look more detailed and a lot bigger.
Okay, have you, I know you're prototyping it out, which is fine, I mean it's great to do in Blender, but when you take it into Unity, you're going to maybe just make platform assets, individual platform assets which you'll take in, and then you can texture them any way that you want for different levels. Would that make more sense to do that rather than try and do a complete level?
I'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can design a level like that, and then you just work out, and you can separate the pieces out and take them into Unity individually. And that way you just got, you turn them into prefabs, and then you can use them over and over again.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Very good.
Can you show anything else?
No, I saw that one.
Elevator pitch. Still need one.
So our game is that you are the slime. And you are in love with the princess. She's human, so there's that. So you go to the witch, and you need to get a potion to turn human, so the princess will love you. So the witch sends you on to a quest to collect the ingredients so she can use to make your potion. During these levels, you're gonna have a lot of fun, adventure, challenges,
Excellent. Sell the game. Woo!
and you're gonna enjoy having all of the knights try to kill you. And that's basically about the witch, yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Make the princess fall in love with you. That's the game.
Okay, so since the last sprint, I have done the skull, which is the ingredient for the desert place. It still needs like a crystal sort of thing around it, so it goes with the whole lava desert sort of thing, having like the skull trapped in this crystallized thing. I don't know how to do the crystallized thing, so that's gonna be something I gotta learn. Other than that, I've only done the part 3 of the desert, which is the volcano, which I've apparently turned it around entirely. Okay, so I've just done more of a rough edge, and then just put an insert for the lava, which I'll put effects into it. You know, I don't know what kind of effects, but something that will be spot. Okay, then nothing around for part 1. Nothing in part 1, desert part 1, but desert part 2 is which is the tunnel tunnel sort of things to get to part 3. So basically, I've just reused the cave sort of or entrance from Lost Friday, and now I'm just gonna make it all fit into the desert sort of thing under like mine sort of thing. And that is all I've done for the last 3 days from last sprint. Thank you.
Nice.
And I've pretty much just been working on a lot of assignments, as well as doing the prototype, so we're pretty much done with the prototype. We just need to sort a few things out and we're good to go.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what we'll be working on for the next week until around about Wednesday. So,
Yeah. Nice.
cool.
Everyone? Very good. Next!
Where's the camera set? There. So we're working on the game or concept something explosion. It's a game set in the Old West, Wild West kind of theme, where you have arrived in a town that has been overrun by zombies, and you have to fight the horde by number 1, throwing weapons and people explode. Because why not? And that's what we've done so far. We've been working on mainly the models and a bit of programming. And yeah, we're going to work on getting some of those models up, I think, at the moment. You got them up?
Okay, well, this is what I started on last week. A cowboy hat. It's got a texture it.
And how long have you been working on Blender?
What do you mean?
How long have you been working with Blender?
Since the start of this course.
Which is how many weeks?
What, like
5.
Never did anything before this. It's seriously awesome.
Yeah, very good.
A lantern for lighting, of course. I was going to create another version with like a chain on it so we can hang it from the ceiling. And I finished texturing my table finally.
Mighty fine looking table.
The funny thing is that literally have that takes.
Alright, well, very good. You're already creating assets. That's great.
The newest one. The only downside is this one doesn't have the actual throwing explosion bit to it. It's really just got the layout of one of the levels. Well, because we're doing the same layout for most of the levels, but it's going to have different objects and stuff in it.
We've decided to, because obviously it's going to be set in pretty much the same town, we're going to try and change up the level design a bit, so more or less buildings depending on what's going to be happening in said level. So this is the basic one.
So did you guys create all the assets, or did you actually do some?
So I think we haven't imported any of Anthony's assets yet, but I've made all the buildings so far. I think we've got a couple other models that need to go in. I think some of your interior furnishings are in there as well.
Yeah, I saw the Sienna.
Yeah.
Nice. There's that nice western town look.
There's a
I've got to redo the colours a bit.
Where's the tumbleweed?
You try doing that!
You can do tumbleweeds, you just turn to a particle effect and have it
You know, very
bounce
basic.
through the town.
Oh, yeah, the jail/bank.
Yeah, I didn't really do stuff real quick.
So obviously you're going to play around with lighting inside the buildings and all
Yes.
that sort of stuff when you get there. It's just layout to start off with, so that's good.
Yeah, it's mainly just layout for this one. If you want, I can
It's-
show
it's-
the other
it's-
thing.
Is your capsule carrying a sword?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted a way to show orientation. I think that's that one. That one.
Is this the one with the grenade?
This is the one with the, I think this is the one with that one. It's either that or the one that annoyed me
Okay.
with the problem with the character model.
It would most likely be the one that annoyed me.
Probably. I'm hoping they actually did put the explosive throwing on the system. Stupid.
Okay, so when you do presentations, and your technicians at this stage where things are, usually have someone come and do a bit of a fill.
All I've done
Do a
is
dance.
just a basic plan.
Just think about it, this is simulations, think about if you're trying to get investors on board. You're going to try and sell a product to them and bring them in, get them excited.
Yes, this is the one with the annoying model being lit. Maybe it work. It's not. Yeah, that's not that one. Alright.
Someone sliding on the ground in paint.
Yeah, it's because the orientation's weird. Why is this okay?
Just skip all that bit.
I didn't. What?
Oh yeah, no, just ignore all that.
Broken project.
Well,
Looking at this,
Pitch, leave it, go. I choose you.
already
Well,
given a pitch, so yeah. Just,
once Chris is done, I'll show off what I've done for the past 2 days. I've basically done just 2 basic concept designs for the HUD and for the base weapon model. And I've also done the player model that you saw previously, that yellow. But then for next sprint, I'm trying to help these guys model the rest of the assets into the game.
looks like it's a game breaking error.
Yeah, really should be. Not that.
Well, usually if they're not that vital, it'll be like a yellow warning rather than a red one. Can't read it from here, so
It's saying the grenade has not been assigned.
oh well, it should say there.
So what you can see, well, you could see there was the player model Malekith made, and we've currently got that set to the grenade. So at the moment, yeah, the grenade is just the body that gets thrown. We're also using that body to scale a lot of the buildings. If you might have seen in the playground,
Yeah, it still works. So yeah, it's basically just
Are you going to be able to throw other things that explode as well? I mean, just the concept of throwing people to explode is
Yeah, we're gonna.
pretty left field. And that's cool because I can just see people being very entertained by it.
Yeah, we're gonna see what we can do because obviously at the moment I think we still haven't even made the main weapon. We've just got that grenade at the moment. But if we can, we might get some like explosive barrels and stuff like that. Maybe a dynamite stick.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be great.
that's my stuff.
All right. Sure.
So here's the first one I did. This is the HUD. This is based off Liam's HUD design that he did previously. Or is it just refining these?
Oh, I like the broken heart. That's great.
Here's all the base designs. Majority of us are going for probably number 2. Or 1, 2, and 7. And then the basic model. I haven't done much.
So it's Starman as well.
That's me.
Please find out how to fix your condition. It's bugging me so much.
And then that's about it. All of it.
Alright.
Oh, you're good on that. Oh, yeah.
So I've been working on the hatchet, which was the original kind of weapon idea.
It's good on that.
Actually. And basically, this is just a more detailed version of it. I've been trying to do hair, or like kind of wool, but I just need to mess around with it a bit more.
Okay, interesting point though. The hair is great, but it probably need to be converted into a mesh to take into Unity.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just something to think about. I mean, yeah, it looks good, but just saying you're making an asset for a game and it has a problem with curves.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it can be converted. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just like got rope on it, and it's just more detail than this. That's all I've done now. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's
when I was working on the cacti and was going to do tumbleweed, but assignments for Colton was working on leaderboard concept menu thing on it. Yeah.
So you're doing leaderboards with Colton, is that the exercise you're doing, no?
No,
Just something that you're working on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very good. Yep. That's it. What are you doing next week?
Probably gonna finish the tumbleweed if I can.
That'd be cool. I think the town needs tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely does. Turn that into a particle effect and just have it going through the town every now and then. That'd be good.
We do have some plans with the levels because we've decided to go with 5 levels, 4 normal, 1 boss.
Yeah.
And then we're at a final level which will be like a bonus level, which hopefully will be like a horde mode. So that's where the concept art for the leaderboards and stuff like that will probably come into play. And probably, as you saw in the concept art for the level that had a score part. So we're trying to decide whether the way you win a level is getting to a certain score or a certain rank, but they'll definitely come to play when we do the horde mode.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. But otherwise, that's it really.
Nice. Well done. Woo. Next. If you've got nothing to show, you can do the elevator pitch.
I do have things to show, but I'll do the elevator pitch anyway.
Right where he's standing is where the camera is in view. So if
Oh,
you're going to do
that's
a
awful,
pitch,
so-
yeah. Well, it is what it is.
I guess I'll just do the elevator pitch. So our game is a multiplayer tank shooter where you play against your friends. It's set on a spherical planet with its own orbit, so when you fire a shot, it'll go around the entire planet, and it could come back and hit someone else or hit you. There's going to be randomly spawning barriers to provide cover the goal is to make them destructible, so you could hide behind it, or potentially someone could shoot and it's gone. There's going to be armor pickups and health pickups around the map that randomly spawn in. You're going to have 3 lives, so after your 3 lives are gone, you're out for the game, and the last one standing is the winner.
I continue that. Okay, so there's also the fact that it's going to be like multiplayer as well.
But, need to speak up.
Oh god, the camera just makes it all really awkward.
I guess I'll just... This is my tank model I made. So the top is able to rotate. I've just done a basic idea of the color scheme for it. And yeah, that's about it. Next week, I'm planning on trying to get a finalized kind of barrier design, as well as start working on more of the code and try and help with that.
Nice. Very nice.
So, from... Yeah, I can't remember what else. You last saw just the tank shooting, right?
I did.
Okay, so since then, I've implemented a new tank, which this one has 2 modes of fire. It has rapid fire and shotgun, which they do, each pellet does 10 damage, and with the rapid fire it's going to be 2, but that's going to be changed later on because it's going to be a charge shot.
Yep.
And if I shoot this object, because it's currently set on a friendly, which I need to fix because this is an enemy, it says friendly fire. And I need to fix that, but I don't know how to. And I tried to get health to work, but it just wouldn't. Like, I don't know why, but damage should work. So if I go through this, it says in the thing that I took 50 damage and it disappears.
So you guys are doing programming with Josh, yeah?
Yeah. And I also implemented walls that are damageable. Eventually that will get destroyed, but we can see if these tanks can get destroyed. So like they're enemy tanks. And I can destroy this tank, but I've disabled the strip so it doesn't actually have gravity. And my new tank model that Matt gave me, it's working, like every single thing about it, except for the fact that it shoots upwards because of the...
Oh, okay, for sure.
So, like, I can't actually...
Oh, that's specky. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I implemented the colours onto it from Matt's tank as a designer. I just don't know how to make them like vibrantly glow, but that's what the tank's going to pretty much look like.
Yeah, nice. Yep, very good.
Yeah, that's all I've done.
So is your stuff loaded yet, Martin?
This is my music
Martin! Oh, this for you. Have a look at.
Yeah?
Yes. We discussed earlier,
Is that a tank?
we discussed earlier floating geometry, so the patterns and everything that are on top of that is floating geometry. So I'll just quickly show you that. So on this layer, okay, I got my shot, my big energy ball, but anyway. But I made the plates and the detailing, and then baked them down. Baked them down as ambient occlusion mat, actually, and then chucked a bump on it. and that gave the detail, because you remember we were talking about before, low poly but with high detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, and I did the same for the turret as well. They're two different pieces, of course, so they can operate differently. And prototyped it in Blender game engine, which unfortunately is going for now, but I'm sure it will come back.
Really?
Yeah, I've discussed this multiple times. In 2.8, they have dropped the games engine, and they're calling it a physics engine, right? Because they've done major updates to everything, almost.
Yeah.
You could say, yeah, it looks very different.
Oh,
And there's only so much they could do on that major build. So there is a lot of people out there who still enjoy the Blender game engine and will probably push for it to be reintroduced in the future.
yeah.
But they've got a physics engine, but they've introduced things like EV and all sorts of things, which is really nice.
Yeah, cool.
But anywho, I've set up
Oh,
control on the camera. We can zoom in and out. I've got rotations and movement and accelerate movement, and of course big energy shots.
and you can turn the turret.
Yes, you can turn the turret. At the moment in the game engine I've got a world mist on, so that's why you can see the world cutting out, but
Reminds me of Battle Zone already. It literally looks like Battle Zone. Fuck, that's cool. Did you just like do this overnight? You're like, oh, you know.
I did that since last time I looked at the tank.
It took these guys 5 weeks. I'll just put it together overnight.
Well, this is the beauty about the Blender game engine as well, is you can test out you can test out your product really quickly without a lot of programming because you're using the logic bricks. Of course, you can program games in Blender as well, but you'd have to learn Python, and you guys are learning C#. So Colin said, make sure I don't show you guys, get you guys into this game engine because you don't be learning too many game engines. But
So these blocks, can you still convert the blocks over into Unity and have it all still work, or do you still need a scripter anyway?
you would need a scripter. You can't just take these blocks into Unity. But the thing is, it has a logical sequence. It's called logic bricks to start off with. So always is happening, and then that's the action. And I've got ping pong set to it. So ping pong is just the way that it moves. So if I select on,
So the
so
camera.
I select on various things. So okay, I'm selecting the camera now. So the camera has just using the arrow keys, the down arrow and the up arrow. This is just for the let's set an animation on the camera, pushing focus and pulling focus, as well as the tilting from the tank. So quite quickly with a couple and the ping pong set up, which means it will reverse the action.
Okay.
Right,
So if you press it again,
that's what
it'll
it's
go
doing.
back.
Yep, and that's why it's clicked on tab. Tap. So you tap the key, it will do that. Tap it again, it will do the ping pong.
And the level is like holding it and it'll do it slowly, is that?
Sorry, no, it's going on the time frame of 40 frames.
Oh, okay.
So if I go to animation, the camera has, so the camera moving has an animation,
That's cool.
and it's also pulling the focus. Yep.
That's really awesome.
And I've just started putting together some environments for it. Like I said, I want to adjust the world mist because I only was working on this.
My eyes.
I was only working on this the other day. Like I said, only a couple of days.
Far out. We should enter game jams. A bit bouncy.
I've got different movement on the tank. So in my forward movement, I've got what's called a force. So if I hold my finger down on the button, then release, it has that forward momentum, which gives you this nice little. If you build up a bit of speed, in turn you get a drift, right? But on my backwards, I've just got it via location. So this is via force,
Yeah, okay.
and this one is via location.
So you stop more abruptly with what?
So yeah, it stops more abruptly because
That's how
the
tank works.
tank goes slower backwards.
Yeah. I love how you still have like the rune aesthetic of your game. Your under four.
But anywho,
Is that just an animation looping?
yeah.
Yeah.
Same with the wheels. They're just set up on key presses, and they're just animating a rotation on them, and of course going opposite direction.
Oh wow.
Creates the opposite. The only thing is, if I'm holding down forward and pressing a rotation, I haven't set it up to.
Oh.
But that should still be fine because sometimes tanks do lock.
Yeah, it would kind of for that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's it. And with that fracture that you had on the vase, I was just going to populate with a whole bunch of stuff that you can shoot at and just
Yeah.
explode.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of Blender's game engine. I know you guys are working in Unity, but sometimes you might just want to test out something. You can quickly do it by using the logic bricks.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Powerful logic bricks.
let's get on with the actual lesson.